Okay, hello Anna.
Hi.
Welcome for today's interview.
Thank you so much.
And it's really, really great to have you here. And we are going to speak a little bit about the upcoming NFT collection for Alcacor, the Zodiac Legacy Collection. And you are really the person, the reason to how this could really happen. And there are many people out there that don't know so much about NFTs, and especially not how an NFT are created. I think that most people that is not into Web3 and NFT communities think that it's a picture that you just create quite quick, and you only use this picture for a profile or whatever. But the NFTs, and especially collections, are a little bit different than only a JPEG.
Yeah, definitely. NFTs is revolutionary. It's so exciting with everything you can do with them, since they're actually like ownership, decentralized ownership, which is super exciting. So a lot of people or projects or companies use NFTs for memberships, just because of that fact. So this image that is connected to the actual token, it's like it's a bonus or representation of whatever this token's value is, right? And often it would be something that would represent you in a community, and the community as a whole as well, in the aesthetic of this collection.
That's really interesting. And I know, Anna, that you are, I used to say most often when I meet people that there are no experts in Web3, because Web3 is still a new area. But if there is a person that is as close to expert in Web3, it's really you, in my opinion, because you have really a competence in different areas, and that's what a lot about Web3 is about. It's not only about technology. It's about technology, but it's also about implementation. And when it comes to NFTs, it's about reaching out to other people also. So it's a whole concept. And I know that you are a Scrum Master as a profession also, but you also are a Swedish artist, because you are from Sweden, but you are an artist that is also using now the technology to do it as NFTs. You have released your own collections in many different blockchains, and you are also having a lot of knowledge in the procedure from the idea of a collection to the NFT when it's going out for ownership to other people. So if we see now to Alcacor's collection, and what was your thoughts when you started to think about how this collection could happen, and why did it become the different zodiacs for the Chinese signs, for example? How was the first thinking from your side when you started to come with ideas for the collection?
Well, I got this assignment to create like a really cool high-end NFT collection that would be something really special. Since, well, everyone listening to this probably knows the founders of this company is very ambitious, and they want to do stuff like the best way or the right way. And that was really something that like was shining through when we started talking about an NFT collection, because I was like, I didn't really know what their ambition was. And I was like, well, we could just like, what you do with an NFT usually, if that's maybe not your core product, is to like, you make a face and then you make like 100 hats for it in like different colors. And that's usually that, like depending on what your ambition level is, right? But when we talked about this collection and we started talking about how it really like represents you and your brand and your community and this kind of network, right, that everybody who holds this NFT is connected. It's limited, it's only issued in a certain amount of NFTs ever, and those will always be connected to each other, and you can always see on the blockchain who owns them. So you can like find your people, find your believers, you know. And I think they thought that was a really like strong thing that is actually kind of cool when you're talking about networks as well, that it can have that kind of digital footprint, if you may. So then obviously we started talking a lot about like, what is the actual community? Like, who are the people, you know? And well, obviously there's a big part of people are in China, for example, and I'm very passionate about lore as well. And I think that's like super important when you build a collection, because you want to care about like these characters and you want to be able to make something more for them eventually. You want people to be excited about it. Yeah.
What is a lore for people that now is quite new to this and thinking that, okay, a lore, what is a lore?
A lore is a story. The lore, like the lore behind you, for example, is like where you're from, who is in your family, what's your origin story, what's your favorite sword if you were a warrior, you know, who have you defeated on the battlefield, like all of those kind of things. So you want to do that for, I mean, I guess it's kind of like when you make sales and that kind of stuff too, right? You always want to build a narrative. You want to make people care about something. And it's the same thing for like the NFTs. Like, you want people to care about these NFTs because they are really like such an important part of Web3 community. And it's easy to care about something that has value, but it's even easier to care about it if they have like really cool lore. And you can like, well, I read about this tiger, like that's an epic character, you know. And a lot of people also that are involved in maybe applications which use NFTs in a broader sense care a lot about that, because a lot of the core community in Web3 from the beginning are like gamers and stuff like that. And that's a very, very important part for them as well, to like get engaged and really get excited about something. So I thought that was important. And for me and like projects I've done before, time has always been like a character in my lore stories. And for this, I just thought like the Chinese calendar was such a perfect fit. And also with the ambition of the founders of Alcacor, that was really like, let's do something totally different and like really high quality. It was really cool to both have them kind of push for this collection being in 3D, which is like a trademark for high-end collections, but also something that's very hard to do. It costs to like get a good 3D artist, and it takes a lot of time to kind of make assets in 3D, and to have 9 different bases is super ambitious. That's like making 9 different NFT collections. Because everything has to be fitted to 9 different characters. So, and I've never actually seen anyone do that. So that was a very ambitious thing we did.
Wow. But now you tell, because I think that most people, they think also of NFTs, they see a picture of something, a drawn picture, and that's like a cartoon. But here you are speaking about 3D, and 3D, I think most people know that's more like a visual video or more like a photo. That's how many people see it. You have the cartoon or you have the more photo like the picture. So this collection is in 3D, you tell, and then but isn't it just then when it's 3D you can just use some Photoshop or something to put in something and voila, there you have it?
No. And also for like NFTs where you have traits that go together in layers, everything needs to fit everything, or it looks really, really bad. And in the same like order, I can show you some things if you want.
Yeah, please do. Yeah, I remember because you really teach me some months ago when we were speaking about 3D NFTs, and then someone shared a video, and that video at the first sight for me it looked very good, but then you explain, no, this is really cheap made, because look at their hands, and this was also animals, look at their hands, you cannot even see their hands. And then I understood that it's so much more around a real and well done made collection than what we can imagine. So what
so I just want to put an example there. Something that's really, really usual is that you don't make hairs or scales or feathers, but you actually just put a texture on top of the sculpt you do that is an image. So it's a flat surface, but the image has like the texture of feathers or hairs or something. And I think that was the case in this video actually.
Yeah.
Because the fingers were like all flat. It was like 5 sticks
Yeah.
like this and no hairs, but it was supposed to be like a lion or something. You know, I just thought it was stupid.
Yeah. No, you really teach me something there, and also the difference to really see. So now I understand that it's a lot of work behind it, because also now we see more the first, when you sent it the first time, it was like the sketches only. Everything was in the sketches. And I know that even one of the founders, Magnus, he said, okay, he thought that this was the ready-made NFTs that we are seeing now.
Yeah, and these could be ready-made NFTs. Yeah. That's the thing. Like a lot of NFTs are 2D and they look like this, and that's fine too, you know. But this is like 10% of the work of this collection.
Wow.
And a lot of people just stop here. And that's like, yeah.
But
this is actually the concept art.
That's the concept art. Okay, so you have 8 different characters here, but then
9.
9. But when you then create an NFT collection of, let's say, 10,000, how is it going from 9 to 10,000? Because you are only adding different attributes, and how is that working?
Yeah, so what you do is a calculation for the layers. So each layer is one kind, like a type of thing. So you have like heads is one layer, clothes is one layer, hats is one layer, background is one layer. And then you can multiply all of these with each other and see how many variations you can get that is unique.
Okay.
Yeah. So why we do this kind of concept art is because the 3D creation process is in 2 steps, really. So the first step is the sculpting, which is kind of like you work in a program where you have clay, and it's just like gray matter.
Okay.
And you need to build something from this. You work in a very detailed level, and it takes a lot of time to make something that is unique.
I actually
and
saw
you need
that
something
one.
to look at.
Yeah, sorry. But I actually saw, no, sorry, Anna, that I interrupt the whole time. But when you also showed me that, and that looked like an anatomy map. I think it was the snake I saw at that time, and you could see each muscle in this gray clay that was like put it into, as it was the snake from the really beginning in clay, and then I could see the next step when they was building. But it's not like I thought that it was not important how the snake looked like under the cloth. It was just a snake, like if I draw a snake on the paper, but this was really modulated in exactly the muscle parts. It was really fantastic to see.
Yeah, and that's the cool thing. Like we start seeing it here in this image. This is just a raw, like he just has like a ball of clay and he started like doing like arms and stuff. Wow. But it's still very undefined. And you see he's looking at this blueprint all the time. And this is the same that was up here, and they're done from the side as well, from the back, like everything is drawn like this to make sure that it actually has the kind of aesthetic that we decided on as the client. And what's really cool about that is that then you have something that is really a body that you can turn around in a space. You can use it in a game. You can make animations. Like it's an Alcacor asset. It's a unique asset that is like from the minds and hearts of Alcacor when we decided how this collection would be. And it's not only a paper, but we can actually use it in a virtual space.
Wow!
So that's really cool. So here you see a little bit more about the kind of sculpting process. So here you don't have any muscles at all on the chest. And here we have really defined sculpting. Like you see here on that image, nothing. And then you get this. It's a lot of hours of work. Also, no bottom here. Here you have the 2 parts, and eventually they are put together. Wow. So yeah. And then you do, after this sculpting, that looks like this. You go into a view. I didn't have an image of that right now, but you go into a view like this that is more kind of defined as to where the different pieces of clay are on the model, and then you get a map of like dots on it, and you kind of make a map of the whole thing to be able to like put color and stuff like that on top of it. So it's a very complicated thing. It's called unwrapping and wrapping. It's like you
Unwrapping
just
and wrapping. Wow.
yeah, it's like you're wrapping a present. Actually, that's a really good way to say it. So you're unwrapping this clay model into a white wrapping paper, and you're making the texture with all of the colors that's supposed to go on top of it, and then you're wrapping the present back on. And if you're good, stuff will end up where they should be.
And if you're not good, they will not.
They will not, yeah. Then you would have the pig nose in the forehead.
Yeah. I can imagine.
Yeah.
I can imagine. Okay. But when you see all these steps, I mean, it's amazing because it's so detailed. It's super cool. And as you said, it's also possible to use the characters then later in, for example, a game, and not only for the NFTs. But I know you have also worked really a lot with this collection because you also have the skills, you have the knowledge how to do it. But the main collection from the modeling and so on is done from a 3D artist, right? That is having a really great experience doing this in the 3D modeling world or art world, I would say.
Yeah, so we have a head artist that is one of the best sculptors. He's usually working on like tabletop games and role play games and stuff like that, where he kind of sculpts unique characters for like board games and such. So he's very, very good at that. That's kind of why we wanted him, because he's really the best at like bringing out, look at this dragon here. It's freaking amazing. Like bringing out that like kind of unique feel, and he's very good at texturing. And then we have a bunch of other artists. I think we worked with maybe like 20 artists that have done different elements to support him. Because I mean, this was a short deadline, and it's a lot of work to do this kind of collection. So yeah, it's definitely been as a project manager for it. It's been a lot, but it's been really fun. It's such a fun collection to work on, and it's really like looks so good. I just love it.
Yeah, it's amazing. Only the clothes and the attributes are like fantastic. I saw one jacket, for example. I was saying I could have that jacket in real life. I know you said the same. So
yeah. Yeah, and this is how we make them. Everything is a piece of its own. So the animals are a piece of its own with their bodies, and then we make a whole suit, and we make like these lamps and sun feathers, and everything is like a whole thing. So there's a lot of files, and everything needs to fit together in the end. And that's kind of I put this image here because I think it's kind of funny. I'm showing you here the different attributes that would go together in a picture or in an NFT when we generate them to make a unique one. Like the snake could have that jacket or some other. It's totally random. But if we don't do a good job, if we don't layer it correctly, it would look like this.
Yeah.
And that doesn't look very well.
No.
But we know what we're doing. These are just mock-ups still. So it's like it's not perfect. Here you see it is perfect, but like I would move this lamp a little bit to the side, not to have that kind of black pixel there, even if it's the background shining through in a natural way. That's kind of the small things you need to tweak when you look at this collection as a whole, just to make it look perfect afterwards. But as you see, this dragon is super killing it. Awesome. Doesn't look like this, but actually layered, everything fits. So yeah, it's definitely a true work of art, this collection.
Yeah, really, and a lot of hours, like I said, behind it. So I think that that's also really a good thing for everyone to know that is not in art or not in the space, to understand more about. Now I know that every collection is not created the way that this collection is created, but to see this collection is really something that each and one that will own these NFTs could be super proud about.
Definitely. It's so cool. And also having like these assets to use also in different ways for Alcacor is super fun. like this is a narrative that we have now, and it's a really good one. Looks awesome.
So much around it also later on, like you say, with the narrative and in the games that can come, and even in, I mean, storytelling is a huge part in any branding. It's about the storytelling. So this can create a lot of great stories.
Yeah, definitely, and it's really nice. And I also think that the licensing for these is actually also very cool, where you can, as long as you hold it as an NFT, you can use it to commercialize your merchandise or your business.
Wow.
So maybe, I don't know, Dragon Burgers.
Yeah, exactly. No, I see some really big brands in the NFT space. They are having everything from hot sauce, ketchup, to some do even tequila with their brand. They are so,
yeah.
There are no limitations really.
Definitely, and it's like it's really popular.
Yeah.
So that's really fun.
Amazing. Okay, this was really good to see and to hear you tell about, Anna. Is there anything as a last part that if I ask you, because I know your wide experience and knowledge in the NFT space, what would you say is unique with this collection? You told us a lot of things, but if you could like summarize something that you feel is something special with the Zodiac Legacy collection, what would that be?
I think it's for me, it's mainly like 4 things. I think the license that I just mentioned, it's really something that people just love to see, and not a lot of people are doing it. A few blue chips and a few like smaller ones, but that's really something that gives to the community in a really great way and builds that network even tighter. And then the quality of the collection, it's like, yeah, I would almost say it's like unseen. And then the base, that there's actually 9 different bases for this collection, and that the base of the collection is a rarity in itself. It's just, yeah, I have never seen that before. It's really cool.
Super cool. Okay, Anna, I think that everyone that will watch this interview now will have a much better understanding about what this collection is about. And I know that it was quite funny, because only yesterday I got on the messenger, I got a message from someone I don't really know, and that person thought that I was the one that was creating this collection. I said, no, it's really not me. I just knew that the person that is really the part of how this collection is happening right now. But that person was so excited, because he just said, I really need to get the dragon. I'm really working to get to the dragon. So already I see a lot of excitement, and I think also knowing this about it and hear more about it will even increase the excitement more.
The NFT community as well. Like,
yeah,
they love this when I've shown previews of it. It's
imagine.
really something else.
Yeah. Super, Anna. Thank you so much for taking the time. And I know that you are on your way, because you have a lot of things on your agenda. But thank you for explaining and sharing this valuable information with us, so more people can really see. And I think that when the collection now is going to be released, there will be a lot of attraction also from outside that is looking to this collection.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Okay.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Anna.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.